Your React app can look perfect on a designer's MacBook and still be unusable for millions of people. Invisible focus. Silent menus. Forms that only scream in red. In the next 15 minutes, we turn accessibility from a scary checklist into a set of high-leverage React habits you can ship this week. This is the crash course serious front-end teams actually need. Imagine shipping a feature that demos perfectly for stakeholders, then a keyboard user cannot complete checkout. That gap is what we close today, with patterns you can paste into production, not theory slides that die in a wiki. Stay to the end for the CI recipe and the ship checklist you can paste into pull requests today. We will move fast. Semantics forms the accessibility tree, live regions, focus, menus, linting, and culture, the sequence that actually changes pull requests. Accessibility is not only screen readers. It is keyboard-only users, low vision, color vision differences, motion sensitivity, voice control, and situational limits, a broken arm, bright sunlight, a noisy train. If your quality bar only includes mouse users on a large monitor, your quality bar is incomplete. Accessibility is product quality, risk management, and growth, not a charity feature. Temporary and situational limits matter too. Someone holding a baby. Someone outdoors. Someone using a shared kiosk. When you design for the edge, the center gets better. Accessibility work is often just ruthless clarity. Lawsuits and lost conversions often start as ignored keyboard and contrast bugs. Accessibility is also brand trust. Start before you write the fancy widget. Put accessibility into requirements. For autocomplete, ask, can I reach it with tab? Move with arrows. Select with enter. Close with escape. Is the result count announced? Are errors announced? Does the API return enough text for labels? Accessibility debt is expensive because it hides inside interaction assumptions. Write acceptance criteria in plain language on the ticket. If the board has no accessibility checkbox, add one this sprint. Process beats heroics. The best A11Y teams make the right thing the default path. Backend teams are part of this. APIs must return text that can become accessible names. Frontend cannot invent labels from empty data. Rule 1 of accessible React: use native HTML first. A clickable div is a tax on every future engineer. Buttons give you focus, enter, and space, and the button roll for free. Links navigate. Inputs collect. Landmarks and headings give the page an outline. Do not invent a widget until a native element truly cannot do the job. Ask on every PR, is there a native element for this? If yes, use it. If no, document why before inventing a role. That review question raises team maturity faster than another lunch and learn. Use button for actions, a for navigation, form for forms, nav main header footer for structure. Lists for lists. Tables for tabular data. Boring HTML is a superpower. Look at this side by side. Bad, a div pretending to be save. Good, a real button. In pull request, review treat clickable divs as release blockers. Semantics first. Cosmetics second. That one habit prevents more defects than most aria attributes ever will. Style the button. Do not fake the button. If design wants a link that looks like a button, style the anchor. Keep semantics honest. CSS is appearance. HTML is meaning. If you only remember one code change from this video, delete your next clickable div. Page structure is a navigation feature. One clear H1, nested headings, and labeled landmarks let screen reader users jump the way cited users scan. Anonymous div trees are convenient for styling and hostile to accessibility. Prefer meaningful structure early. When multiple nav regions exist, give each a distinct label, main navigation versus account navigation, so the rotor is not a list of identical navigation landmarks. Skip links belong in the shell layout, so every route inherits them. Make main programmatically focusable with tab index -1. Here is where products quietly lose customers. A form fails, and the only signal is a red border. No text. No announcement. Screen reader users hear nothing. Voice control users do not know what to fix. Color-only errors also fail people with color vision deficiencies. Forms are conversion infrastructure, treat them that way. Placeholder text is not a label. It disappears when typing starts and often fails contrast. Use placeholders as examples only. Autocomplete attributes help browsers and password managers, free wins that also help accessibility. Autocomplete, password managers, and clear error text help everyone, including people who never identify as disabled. Production pattern, visible label, matching ID, aria-invalid reflecting state, aria-described B pointing at help or error, and role alert on the error message. Encode this once in your form field component so every squad inherits it. Consistency is accessibility. Put this field pattern in your design system today. Teams that reinvent error UX every quarter ship inconsistent announcements and confused users. One form field. Many features. Aria-invalid without a connected message is half a fix. Connect the description. Announce the failure. Browsers build an accessibility tree from the DOM. That tree is what assistive technologies consume: role, accessible name, state, value, relationships. Your CSS can look gorgeous while the tree is empty or lying. Learn to inspect it in DevTools the same way you inspect React props. If a control is unnamed in the tree, it is unnamed for users. Open your browser accessibility pane on a production page after this video. You will find unlabeled icon buttons and decorative images missing empty alt. Those are not theoretical defects, they are silent product bugs. Icon only, buttons need an accessible name. Prefer visible text when design allows. Hide decorative icons with aria hidden so names are not doubled. Inspect the tree when debugging fake buttons, missing text, or mysterious silence. A native save button should appear as role button, name save, state enabled. If you only debug the visual DOM, you are debugging half the product. The accessibility tree is the other half. Different hiding methods change the tree. Display none removes content. Opacity 0 can leave focusable ghosts. Choose the method that matches intent, gone for everyone or visually hidden but still announced. First rule of aria: do not use aria if native HTML works. Adding a role does not add keyboard behavior. React updates the screen without a full page load. Visual users see the toast. Screen reader users may hear nothing. Put status text in aria-live polite with aria atomic true. Keep focus on the button. Use assertive alerts sparingly, usually for urgent errors only. If the UI changed and nobody was told, that is a silent failure. After client-side route changes, also move focus to the new page heading. SPAs do not reload the document, so nothing is announced unless you implement it once in the app shell. Polite live regions wait for a pause in speech. That is usually what you want for status toasts. Live regions and focus management belong together. Announce the cart update. Move focus when a dialog opens. After SPA navigation, focus the new heading. Dynamic React UIs without these habits create mysterious silence. The UI changed, but assistive technology never got the memo. Ask on every async update: if I could not see the screen, would I miss a critical state change? Missing route announcements are among the most common React accessibility failures in production SPAs. The cheapest high-value front-end test in existence: unplug the mouse. Tab through sign-up checkout and your main nav. Can you see focus? Does escape close overlays? Are you trapped? Keyboard access is not only an accessibility requirement, power users move faster with it too. If you get lost, your users get stuck. Never set outline none globally without a better focus visible replacement. Invisible focus is a hard blocker. Treat it like a production incident if your design tokens remove outlines. Build a 10-minute keyboard script for your top 3 journeys and run it before release candidates. Modals and menus are where React apps often break. When a dialog opens, move focus inside. Keep tab trapped while it is open. On close, restore focus to the trigger. Prefer native dialog with show modal, or battle-tested primitives from React Aria, Radix, or Headless UI. Hand-rolled focus traps create nested dialog nightmares. Prefer one shared dialog and menu primitive for the whole org. 12 clever one-offs create 12 different keyboard bugs. Reuse beats reinvention. Sticky headers that cover focused controls fail newer WCAG focus not obscured expectations. Test focus against your Chrome. This is the contract in code. Remember the previously focused element. Focus the first useful control inside the panel. Restore on cleanup. Pair it with role dialog aria modal and an accessible name. If any of those are missing, the modal is not done even if the animation looks expensive. Also give the dialog an accessible name and a visible close control. Escape should dismiss when appropriate. Background content should not remain interactive. That is the full modal checklist. Initial focus often belongs on the close button or the primary field. Pick the control that helps the task. For many account menus and FAQ panels, you do not need a full desktop aria menu. A button with aria-expanded and aria controls, plus a panel that is hidden when closed, covers a huge percentage of real products. Reach for complex arrow key menu patterns only when the interaction truly matches that model. Simple and correct beats clever and broken. Hide closed panels so they leave the tab order. Keep links inside as real anchors. This disclosure pattern covers account menus, filters, and FAQs without inventing custom roles. If drag and drop reordering is mouse only, add move up and move down buttons with clear names. Enhancements are fine. Exclusion is not. Lint early. Test like a user with testing library, get by role. Drive keyboard events in unit tests. Run axe in CI. Then evaluate third-party libraries for keyboard and focus quality before you standardize on them. A beautiful component kit with poor keyboard support will multiply defects across every screen. Prefer libraries with documented keyboard support, focus management, and active accessibility issue triage. Automation will not prove your app is fully accessible, but it will stop the same bugs from returning. Enable Lint plugin jest-axe 11y so missing alt and clickable divs die in the editor. Put jest-axe or widgets on shared forms and dialogues. Then still do a human keyboard pass. Tools find regressions. Humans find confusion. A clean axe score is necessary and not sufficient. Pair CI with a 10-minute keyboard, script on sign-up and checkout before every release candidate. Make it boring and consistent. Culture beats a one-time audit. Audits find problems. Habits prevent them. Put A11y in definition of done. Turn jest-axe 11y recommended rules on. Fail CI on new axe violations for critical components. When a rule fires on a clickable div, the fix is usually a button, not an Lint disable comment. Put this on your design system, primitives first for maximum leverage. Do not silence jest-axe 11y with Lint disable unless you link an issue. A muted rule can hide a real defect for years. Ratchet rules file by file in legacy areas instead of turning the plugin off. Start axe coverage on shared primitives, dialog form field menu, then expand to top funnels. Accessible React is not a plugin you install at the end. It is Semantic HTML, honest names, visible focus announced updates, and tests that refuse to merge regressions. Do those things and you ship software more people can finish using, which is the whole point of a product. Comment A11y if you want the checklist from this video. Print a ship checklist. Semantics names, forms, keyboard focus visible alt text, live updates, lint and axe human pass. If a PR cannot tick those boxes, it is not done, no matter how polished the pixels look. Accessible software is simply software more people can finish. That is the product outcome. Everything else is technique. 15 minutes. High leverage. Now go enable linting, tab your critical flows, and fix the first unnamed button you find. Subscribe to Life of Geeks for more engineering deep dives, and comment A11y for the checklist. Make your next pull request keyboard proof. Accessibility is how serious React teams design, build, and ship. Scan the QR for the channel, comment A11y, and go make one real fix today. Thanks for watching Life of Geeks. One fix today. Lint tomorrow. Keyboard script this week. That is how teams compound. If this helped, share it with a teammate who still ships clickable divs. Accessibility culture spreads one review comment at a time.